Welcome to our channel, a sacred space where broken hearts find healing, weary souls discover hope, and every hurting spirit is reminded they are deeply loved by God. Whether you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or simply seeking a quiet place to rest, this channel is for you. Subscribe and join us on this beautiful journey of spiritual renewal, one heartfelt step at a time. We'd love to know where you're watching us from. Drop your city and country in the comments below. Now close your eyes and listen to the God's words. Chapter 1. When the night brings fear, I am your light, my child. I see you lying there. The quiet around you feels louder than the noise ever did. The lights are off, but your thoughts are still racing. You've pulled the blanket over your body, hoping it would muffle the worry, the ache, the haunting shadows that come when the world finally goes quiet. You're afraid, not just of what's around you, but of what's within you. The silence is heavy. The night makes everything feel bigger. The fear, the pain, the memories that sneak in like thieves. But I am here. Yes, even now. Especially now. You may not feel me, but I'm closer than your own breath. I am not a distant God, watching from the stars. I am in this room. I sit beside your bed. I am the whisper that says, "You are not alone." Do you remember the words from long ago? Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23:4. You are walking through shadows tonight, but they are only shadows. They cannot touch you. They cannot steal you from me. I am the light that casts those shadows aside. I know why you fear the night. You remember things you try to forget. The regrets you've hidden in the daylight return. You worry about tomorrow, about things you cannot control. You wonder if everything you're trying to hold together will fall apart while you sleep. You are tired, not just in your body. Your soul is tired too. You've tried to be strong for everyone, to be brave when the panic comes, to smile when your heart aches. You feel like if you let go, everything will collapse. Let me tell you the truth. You were never meant to carry this alone. Even in your darkest hour, I am holding you. Even when fear grips your chest and makes you feel like you're drowning in your own thoughts, I am there. I don't need you to be fearless. I just want you to trust me enough to close your eyes. When you were a child, you looked for the light in the hallway. You felt safer when someone stood guard. I want you to know, I never stopped standing guard. I never left my post. Not once. Do you remember when I calmed the storm? My disciples were terrified. The winds howled, the sea roared, and they thought they would die. But I was sleeping, not because I didn't care, but because I was never afraid. I knew who I was. I knew the power within me. They woke me, screaming, "Don't you care that we're perishing?" And I stood up, stretched out my hand, and spoke to the chaos. "Peace, be still." Mark 4:39. And it was. You see, my child, the night doesn't scare me. The storm doesn't shake me. Your fear doesn't repel me. It draws me closer. I speak peace into your nights, the same way I calmed that storm. And I will do it again tonight. So let's do this together. Take a deep breath, not just with your lungs, but with your heart. Exhale the worry. Inhale my presence. I am here, right now. You don't need the answers to everything. You don't need to fix everything before the morning. You don't need to win every battle in your mind before you sleep. You just need to rest in me. Let me speak over your thoughts. Let my word become your lullaby. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Proverbs 3:24. I lay down and slept. I woke again, for the Lord sustained me. Psalm 3:5. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. Even if the shadows return, remember, they cannot harm you. I am your shield. I am your defender. I am the light that never dims, not even in your darkest hour. Close your eyes, my child. I am watching over you. Tonight, let my presence become your peace. Let my promises wrap around your heart like a blanket. Let the fear fade, because I have already stepped into the night, and I have filled it with my light. Nothing can reach you that hasn't passed through me first, and I, the God who never sleeps, am staying right here. Sleep now, little one. You are safe. I am here. I am your light in the night. Chapter 2. You are not what you've done. You are mine, my child. There's something you've been carrying far too long. I can feel the weight of it pressing against your heart. You smile when people look at you, but inside, you've been whispering the same words again and again. I should have known better. Why did I do that? God must be disappointed in me. But tonight, I want to meet you in that exact place, the place where guilt has set up camp in your soul, and tell you the truth. You are not what you've done. You are not your failure, your sin, your mistake, or the memory you replay when you're alone. I see deeper than that. I see the tear-streaked prayers. I see the regret. I see how you've punished yourself in silence, thinking it would somehow earn my forgiveness. You don't have to earn what I already gave. My beloved child, do you remember the story of the prodigal son? He didn't just walk away. He ran. He wasted everything, dishonored his father, and ended up broken, dirty, and ashamed. He rehearsed a speech of unworthiness. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But do you know what happened when the father saw him? He ran. The father ran to meet the one who had run away. He didn't wait with folded arms. He didn't demand a perfect apology. He wrapped him in a robe, kissed his face, and celebrated. Why? Because the father never stopped calling him son, and I have never stopped calling you mine. You think your past disqualifies you from my love, but my love isn't based on your record. It's based on my promise. I formed you in your mother's womb. I numbered the hairs on your head. I wrote your name on my hands. Isaiah 49:16. Yes, I saw what happened. I saw the choices you made, the ones you now wish you could erase. But I didn't turn away. I leaned in. I walked every step of shame with you. And while you were calling yourself unworthy, I was preparing a robe, a ring, and a seat at my table. You see, I'm not afraid of your mess. I'm not scared of your sin. I've already faced it on the cross. That's where your guilt was carried. That's where your shame was buried. I didn't stretch out my arms to judge you. I stretched them out to save you, not because you were perfect, but because you were precious. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Romans 5:8. You've labeled yourself with the names the enemy whispers at night. Failure, hypocrite, disappointment. But I call you by the name I gave you, beloved, redeemed, chosen, my own. You don't have to keep punishing yourself. That voice in your head that keeps reminding you of your mistakes, that's not me. I convict to restore, not to torment. When I speak of your past, it's only to show you how far I've brought you. I don't use shame to teach. I use grace. You think you're too far gone? Listen closely. You're exactly where I do my best work. David committed adultery and murder. I still called him a man after my heart. Peter denied me 3 times. I still built my church on him. Paul persecuted my people. I still chose him to spread my gospel. Do you see? I don't choose the perfect. I perfect the chosen. So tonight, I want you to do something brave. Let go. Let go of the name guilt gave you. Let go of the story that says, I'm not enough. Let go of the belief that you have to fix everything before coming back to me. You're already back. You're here. And I've been waiting for this moment. Sit with me. You don't have to speak. Just breathe in this truth. You are forgiven. You are free. You are mine. Let me wash the stains from your memory. Let me rewrite the ending you thought was ruined. Let me remind you that redemption isn't a reward. It's a gift. As far as the east is from the west, so far have I removed your transgressions from you. Psalm 103:12. If anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come. 2 Corinthians 5:17. You are not what you've done. You are what I've done for you. So sleep now, not with guilt, but with grace. You are wrapped in the mercy of a Father who doesn't count your sins, but covers them in love. You are not a mistake trying to be redeemed. You are a child already restored. Lay your head down tonight, knowing this: I know everything about you, and I still call you mine. Chapter 3. I was there when you cried. Lone, my precious child, there are moments in your life that no one else knows about. The ones hidden beneath smiles, behind busy days, and beneath whispered, I'm fine, replies. But I know. I was there the night you cried alone. No one heard you. No one noticed. No one knew that while the world kept spinning, your heart was breaking silently in the dark. But I knew. I saw every tear, even the ones that never fell. I heard the sobs you muffled into your pillow. I felt the ache in your chest that made it hard to breathe. You thought no one would understand. You were right. Almost no one could. But I could. And I did. You weren't abandoned in that moment. I didn't turn my face away. I didn't stand far off. I didn't wait for you to pull yourself together before showing up. I was already there. Before the first tear reached your cheek, I was sitting in that room with you. I wasn't just a silent observer. I was your comforter, weeping with you, holding you. I know the ache of loneliness. I felt it too, in Gethsemane, when my closest friends slept while I wept. I understand betrayal, rejection, heartbreak. I've worn the weight of silence and sorrow, and I'm not afraid of yours. You think your pain makes you unlovable, but my love runs deepest in the places where you hurt the most. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Yes, close, not distant, not watching from heaven, close, closer than your breath, closer than your thoughts, closer than the lie that says you're alone. Even when you couldn't feel me, I was there, not because you summoned me, but because you matter that much to me. I remember the moment you whispered, "God, where are you?" You thought I was silent, but my silence was not absence. I was holding your soul together when everything else was falling apart. I was giving you strength to make it through the night, even when you didn't recognize it as me. I saw the nights you wanted to give up. I heard the questions you couldn't say out loud. I witnessed the emptiness that no one else seemed to notice. And I want you to hear this now. I never missed a single tear, not one. You don't have to explain your pain to me. I know where it comes from. The wound that won't heal. The memory you can't forget. The silence that feels louder than words. You wonder, why didn't anyone notice? I did. You wonder, why didn't they care? I did. You wonder, will anyone ever see what I carry? I see it now. And I've always seen it. There's something sacred about sorrow when it's brought into my presence. Do you remember Mary at the tomb? She stood outside, weeping. Everyone else had left. The world moved on, but she stayed, broken, lost, alone. And that's where I met her. I didn't show up to the crowds first. I didn't appear to the powerful. I showed up to a weeping woman in a garden. Because I am drawn to the ache of the heart. Jesus said to her, "Why are you crying?" John 20:15. Not because I didn't know, but because I wanted her to know I cared. And now I ask you the same, not to judge your sorrow, but to sit with you inside it. Why are you crying, my child? Tell me. Let it out. Don't hide it anymore. There is no shame here, no rush to move on, no pressure to feel better. I'm not afraid of your pain. Let me hold it with you. You don't have to cry alone tonight. You never did. You never will. The world will tell you to move on. I invite you to rest. The world says, "Be strong." I whisper, "Let me carry you. I don't need your perfection. I desire your presence. Come as you are, heart open, tears and all." He collects all my tears in his bottle and keeps track of each one. Psalm 56. Not one tear was wasted, not one moment of sorrow forgotten. I am redeeming it all. Every single ache, every whispered prayer, every lonely cry. So tonight, breathe. Let go of the silence. Let go of the shame. Let the tears come if they must. And know that they are falling into my hands. You are not alone. You were never alone. And you will never be alone. I was there when you cried. I am here now. And I will be here always. Sleep now, knowing this truth. You are seen. You are heard. You are held. And even in your loneliest hour, I was right beside you. Chapter 4. Even when you doubt me, I still believe in you, my child. You've been walking with a question you're too afraid to ask out loud. A question that feels heavy and dangerous, like it could tear a hole in your faith. What if I'm not sure I believe anymore? You wonder if that thought makes you unworthy, if your doubts cancel out my love. You feel guilty for the questions, the uncertainty, the times you've prayed and heard nothing in return. You've looked up at the ceiling and said, "Are you even real? Are you even there?" And still, I stayed. Still, I remained. Because your doubt doesn't scare me. Your questions don't offend me. I'm not fragile. I'm not angry that you wrestled with your faith. I saw the storm rising in your mind. I saw how your heart fought to hold on while your hope was slipping. But listen to me carefully. Even when you doubt me, I still believe in you. Let's go back for a moment. Remember Thomas? He walked with me, listened to my voice, watched the miracles, and yet after I rose, he said, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, I will not believe." I didn't rebuke him. I didn't reject him. I came to him personally, lovingly, and I said, "Here, see my hands, touch my side. It's me, because that's who I am." I meet doubters with presence, not punishment. I knew Thomas's heart, just like I know yours, and if you need to see me in a different way, if you need to ask hard questions, I will never walk away from you. You think that having doubts means you failed, but doubt isn't the opposite of faith. It's part of the journey. When a child cries out in the dark, "Daddy, where are you?" that doesn't mean they've stopped believing in their father. It means they long to feel his presence. And that's what I hear in your cries too. Not rebellion, but longing. "Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief." Mark 9:24. That prayer is enough. That prayer moves heaven. Do you know what I see when I look at you? I don't see a failure. I don't see a backslider. I see a heart that wants to believe. A soul that is tired, but still searching. And I honor the search. I bless the wrestling. I walk with those who limp through the valley of doubt and say, "I still want you, even when I can't feel you." Faith isn't a perfect line. It's a winding path. Some days you run toward me. Some days you crawl. And some days you just sit down and say, "God, I don't know anymore." And on those days, I kneel beside you. I place my hand on your shoulder, and I stay. Not because you have it all figured out, but because I do. Do you remember Peter? He sank in the waves, not because he hated me, but because he lost focus. Fear replaced faith. Doubt clouded trust. But before the sea swallowed him, I grabbed his hand. Before he could cry, "Save me," I was already reaching, and I'm reaching for you now. Your doubt will never be deeper than my love. Your fear will never be stronger than my grip. You are safe, even in your questioning. I know you've been hurt by religion. I know people have spoken my name without showing. My heart, I know life hasn't always made sense, but don't let the brokenness of the world define the goodness of your God. If you've lost sight of me, I haven't lost sight of you. I've been walking beside you in every dry season, whispering to your soul when your ears couldn't hear, planting seeds of faith in the soil of your silence. And in time, those seeds will bloom. So tonight, let go of the guilt. Let go of the fear that you've lost me. Let go of the idea that you need perfect faith to be loved. You don't. You just need to stay open, even slightly. You just need to whisper, "I want to believe," and I will meet you there. If we are faithless, he remains faithful. 2 Timothy 2:13. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. John 20:29. You are still mine. Even when you're unsure, you still belong, even in your questions. Sleep now, my child. I am not disappointed in your doubts. I am drawing you closer through them. I am planting strength in your soul, even in this moment. And as you rest, know this: even when you feel far from me, I have never stopped believing in you. Chapter 5. Lay down your guilt. I already carried it, my beloved child. That weight you keep dragging behind you, I see it. You carry it like a chain, heavy and rusted from years of self-blame. You try to smile through it. You try to push past it. But deep inside, you keep whispering to yourself, I should have done better. It's my fault. God must be tired of forgiving me. But I'm not, because you see guilt as something you must carry. But I already did. On a cross, with nails, with blood, with love that refused to let you go. You don't have to carry what I already took upon myself. I know what happened. I know what you said. I know what you did. I know what you didn't do, what you should have done. And I know the shame that grew in the quiet afterward. But I also know the tears that followed, the way you clenched your hands in regret, the prayers you prayed, even when you felt like I wouldn't listen. I did listen. I heard every word, and I forgave you the first time you asked, even before you could find the right words. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. You're weary, child, not from life, but from guilt. You've been trying to outrun your past, to make up for the pain you think you caused. But that's not how grace works. Grace is not earned. Grace is received. You don't have to punish yourself anymore. You don't have to keep replaying the moment. You don't have to live in the shadow of what's already been buried. I've already carried it. Do you remember what I said with my last breath on the cross? It is finished. John 19:30. That wasn't just about my suffering. It was about yours too. Your guilt, finished. Your shame, finished. Your debt, finished. I didn't just take the punishment. I removed the stain. Let me show you something. There was a woman brought to me by a crowd, her shame exposed, her sin laid bare. They held the stones in their hands and accusations on their lips. But I didn't condemn her. I stooped down, wrote in the dirt, and said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And one by one, they dropped their stones and walked away. I looked at her, trembling, ashamed, alone, and said, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. John 8:11. Child, if I didn't condemn her, why would I condemn you? You've let guilt define your worth. You've let your mistakes write your identity. But I'm rewriting your story. You are not the one who failed. You are not the one who messed up again. You are not too far gone. You are redeemed. You are forgiven. You are still mine. Let go now. Let go of the voice that tells you you're not clean enough, not worthy enough, not holy enough. I didn't choose you because of your perfection. I chose you because of my love. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Romans 8:1. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Isaiah 1:18. I don't see you as the world sees you. I see you through the eyes of mercy, covered in grace, wrapped in healing, held by a Father who doesn't keep score. Let me say it clearly, so your heart can finally rest. You are forgiven. You are clean. You are free. I know you struggle to forgive yourself, but my forgiveness isn't waiting on yours. It's already finished, already written in the blood of my Son. already sealed in eternity. You don't need to keep carrying what I already buried. So tonight, let the guilt fall. Drop it at the foot of the cross. Whisper the things you've been too afraid to say, and watch how my love covers every single one. Not with shame, not with anger, but with peace. You are not your past. You are not your sin. You are not your guilt. You are mine, and I already carried it. Sleep now, beloved. You don't have to make yourself clean. You already are. You don't have to fix the past. I've already redeemed it. And you don't have to carry the guilt. I already did. Tonight, rest in this truth. You are forgiven. You are held. You are free. Chapter 6. I never left you. Not for a moment. My dear child, you've asked the question more than once. Maybe with tears in your eyes, or maybe in the silence of a restless night. God, where were you? You didn't ask it lightly. You asked it from the aching place inside your soul. That place where the pain was sharp and the silence felt endless. That place where your prayers felt like they were bouncing off the ceiling, where it felt like heaven had shut its windows. But I need you to hear this, now and forever. I never left you. Not for a moment. Not when you were hurting. Not when you were angry. Not when you doubted. Not even when you pushed me away. You may not have seen me, but I was there, in the room, in the tears, in the quiet, when no one else stayed. I was there when your world fell apart. I was there when you felt betrayed. I was there when you stood at the edge of giving up. And I wasn't just watching. I was holding you together when everything else was breaking. Even if my father and mother abandon me, the Lord will hold me close. Psalm 27:10. I didn't need the lights on to find you. I didn't need perfect words to hear you. I didn't need a church building to reach you. All I needed was you, and I've never stopped being near. There are moments you thought you were walking alone, but if you could see the truth, you'd see my footprints beside yours. You'd see my hand on your shoulder. You'd see the moments I carried you, even when you didn't have the strength to ask. There were days you only saw one set of prints in the sand, and you thought I had left. But those were the days I was carrying you. You thought your pain was proof of my absence, but it was the place where I was most present. Remember the disciples on the road to Emmaus? They walked in grief, confusion, and heartbreak. They spoke of how they had hoped and how their hope had died. But as they walked, I walked beside them. Even though they didn't recognize me, they thought I was gone, but I was right there. And so it has been with you. When you couldn't feel me, I was still near. When you questioned everything, I stayed faithful. When you ran from me, I ran after you. Because I made a promise long ago. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. And I keep my promises. You don't need to earn my nearness. I am not the God who visits only when you're doing well. I'm not the God who walks away when you're broken. I'm not the God who withdraws when you feel messy or distant. I'm the God who draws near to the crushed in spirit. I'm the God who walks into locked rooms, who stands beside hospital beds, who enters the silence of empty hearts and says, "Peace be with you." Even when you couldn't feel me, I was writing redemption into your story. Even when you thought I was silent, I was speaking in ways Your soul would one day understand. Even when you thought I had given up on you, I was whispering, I'm still here. I've never moved. You've asked, why didn't you stop the pain? And I understand that question. I hold it with tenderness. But my presence wasn't proven by painlessness. It was proven by my persistence to stay, to comfort, to carry, to cry with you. I never abandoned you. I anchored you. When the storm hit, I held you steady. When the winds raged, I wrapped my arms around your soul and whispered, I know, I'm here. So don't let the silence fool you. Don't let the pain lie to you. Don't let your past define my presence. I never left you. Not in your darkest moment. Not in your weakest prayer. Not even in your silence. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Psalm 139, 7-10. There is no place you've been that I didn't go with you. So tonight, rest, not in your understanding, but in my presence, not in having all the answers, but in knowing you're never alone. You don't have to feel me to trust that I'm near. You don't have to see me to believe I stayed. You don't have to be strong to rest in me. Just let go. Let me hold the weight. Let my nearness become your peace. Because even now, especially now, I am still with you. Sleep now, my child. Not in fear, not in doubt, not in loneliness, but in the presence of the one who never left, not for a moment. Chapter 7. You don't have to be strong. Just be still, my child. You've been trying so hard, trying to hold it all together, trying to be brave for everyone around you, trying not to break when everything inside you feels like it's falling apart. You carry the weight of your responsibilities, your fears, your past, and your unspoken grief like armor. But underneath that armor, I see the fatigue in your soul, and I want you to hear me now, clearly and without guilt. You don't have to be strong right now. You only have to be still. The world taught you that strength means doing more. It told you to keep pushing, to keep achieving, to keep performing. But my strength begins when yours runs out. I am not asking you to prove yourself. I am not waiting for you to earn rest. I am not impressed by your ability to pretend you're okay. I want your honesty, not your performance. I want your surrender, not your struggle. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. This isn't just a verse, it's an invitation. Be still, not because you figured it all out. Be still, not because you're fearless. Be still, because I am fighting for you. You've been standing in a storm, your hands clenched, your thoughts spinning, your soul exhausted. You've asked me, what more do you want from me? And I answer, not more effort, just more trust, not more strength, just more stillness. Because in the stillness, you begin to hear me again. In the stillness, your heart finally catches up with my peace. In the stillness, you stop striving and start receiving. Do you remember the Israelites at the Red Sea? The enemy was behind them. The waters were in front of them. They were trapped, terrified, desperate. And Moses told them something that still echoes through eternity. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. And I did fight for them. I split the sea. I made a way where there was none, and I'm doing the same for you, even now, behind the scenes, where your eyes can't see and your mind can't comprehend. I'm working, clearing paths, softening hearts, redirecting winds, making miracles in the silence. You don't need to earn my rescue. You don't need to hold up the whole world. Just breathe. Let the tears fall if they must. Let your shoulders relax. Let the tension drain from your hands. I'm not asking you to climb a mountain. I'm asking you to sit at my feet, to let me speak peace into your storm. Strength is not the absence of weakness. It's the presence of trust. When you collapse in my arms, I don't call it failure. I call it worship. When you say, I can't do this alone anymore, I say, I never asked you to. So come to me, tired soul. Come without your mask. Come without your perfection. Come with your trembling heart and your weary body. Come empty, so I can fill you. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. It's okay to be weak. It's okay to cry. It's okay to rest. You're still mine. You're still safe. You're still loved. You're not failing. You're human. You're not broken beyond repair. You're in the hands of the healer. You're not lost. I know exactly where you are, and I will hold you until you can stand again. I will carry you until your legs are steady. I will sing over you in the night until peace returns. The Lord your God is with you. He will take great delight in you. He will quiet you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing. Zephaniah 3:17. Even now, I am quieting the storm inside you. Even now, I am covering you in calm. Even now, I am fighting battles you don't even know exist. Just be still. You don't have to be everything for everyone. You don't have to fix what you can't control. You don't have to have the words. You just have to rest in me. And in your stillness, you'll find strength again. Not your strength, but mine. Not a strength that runs out, but a strength that flows like a river. So sleep, beloved. Let go of the need to prove yourself. Let go of the pressure to be strong. Let go of the lies that say your weakness makes you unworthy. You are safe here. You are held here. And while you rest, I am working. Just be still. Chapter 8. Grief doesn't mean I'm gone. My child, I know this ache you carry. It's quiet, but constant. It lingers behind your smile and hides beneath your daily routine. Some days it floods you without warning. A scent, a song, a memory, and suddenly you're back in that moment of loss. The place where the world changed forever. You've lost someone, or something, or a version of yourself that will never come back. And the grief feels like an ocean, rising and falling, pulling you under when you least expect it. I know, and I want to tell you something that you may have struggled to believe. Grief doesn't mean I'm gone. You've wondered where I was when the heartbreak came. You've cried and asked, why did you let this happen? You've questioned if you're good. Why does it hurt this bad? Those questions don't scare me. Grief isn't rebellion. Grief isn't a lack of faith. Grief is love that has nowhere to go. It's your soul's way of honoring what mattered. Even my son wept at a tomb. Even he cried when his friend died. Even he groaned in his spirit at the sting of death. Jesus wept, John 11:35. I didn't rush him past his tears. I stood with him in the pain, just as I am standing with you. Grief does not mean you're weak. It means you are human, and your heart was created to love deeply. And when love is separated by loss, it aches. I created you that way, not so you would live in pain, but so you would understand how precious life and love truly are. But even in that pain, I am not absent. I'm in it with you. I'm not waiting for you to move on. I'm not disappointed that you still cry. I'm not telling you to get over it. I'm whispering, I'm still here. Every tear that falls is counted. Every sigh in the dark, heard. Every empty chair, every silent phone, every missed hug. I see it all. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. Psalm 56:8. I am the God who does not waste pain, the one who sits in the ashes with you, the one who speaks gently into the hollow spaces. I am not angry with your grief. I grieve with you. Grief does not push me away. It pulls me closer. You may not see it now, but every moment you've spent mourning, I've been wrapping my arms around you. When your chest tightened with pain, I was holding you. When you broke down in the middle of the day, I was the stillness that covered you. When you stood by the grave, I stood beside you, weeping with you. Grief may feel like absence, but it's where my presence becomes most tender. I know this loss changed you. I know you're not the same, and that's okay. You don't have to go back to who you were. I'm walking with who you are now, the one who has known love and loss, and yet still breathes. You may feel broken, but broken things in my hands become beautiful stories. Stories of survival, stories of resurrection, stories of healing, even if the scar remains. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Matthew 5:4. That promise wasn't for later. It's for now. You are not abandoned in your mourning. You are not forgotten in your tears. I am with you in every chapter, even the ones written in sorrow and the one you lost. If they were mine, they are more alive now than ever before. And if your heart cries for them, know that mine does too. You will see them again. And in the meantime, I am holding both of you, because I'm the God who bridges what death tries to separate. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Revelation 21:4. That day is coming, but until then, I am here, in the tears, in the silence, in the longing. So tonight, let yourself feel. Let the sadness come, and let me meet you there. You don't have to hold it all together. You don't have to be strong for everyone else. You just have to let me hold you. Grief may stay for a season, but so will I. Sleep now, beloved, not because the pain is gone, but because you're not alone in it. Let my presence be your peace. Let my nearness be your comfort. And when the ache returns tomorrow, I will be there again. Because grief does not mean I'm gone. It means you are still loved, and I am still here. Chapter 9. You're tired, but I will carry you, my precious child. You're tired, not just the kind of tired that sleep fixes, but the kind that seeps into your bones and sits heavy on your soul. You've been walking through too much for too long, and though you smile and nod and say, I'm fine. I know the truth. You're exhausted. You're weary from fighting battles that don't end. You're worn down from carrying burdens you never asked for. You're stretched thin from being strong for everyone else. And so, I whisper to you tonight, you're tired, but I will carry you. You don't have to keep holding it all together. That was never your job. You weren't created to carry the weight of the world. You were created to walk beside me. And when your strength runs out, to rest in mine. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Rest, not just for your body, but for your soul. Rest, not just from your work, but from your worry. Rest, not as a reward for strength, but as a gift for surrender. You've been trying to be the provider, the protector, the fixer, the anchor. But that's my role. Let me be the one who carries you now. Think of the shepherd and the sheep. When the sheep grows weary, the shepherd doesn't scold it for being tired. He doesn't say, "Why can't you walk faster?" He gently lifts the sheep onto his shoulders and carries it home. That's what I'm doing with you now. No guilt, no shame, just arms around you, lifting you higher than your strength could ever reach. You've tried to be strong for too long. You hold your family together. You pour into others while you're running dry. You give even when no one sees how much it costs you. But tonight, I see, and I say to you, enough. Not you are enough, though you are, but enough carrying this alone, enough holding back your tears, enough pretending you're not tired, enough pushing past the breaking point. Let me carry you. Let me refill you. Let me be your strength. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29. That promise is for you, not for the perfect, not for the flawless, for the tired, for the struggling, for the ones who whisper, I can't keep doing this. I'm not asking you to keep going in your own strength. I'm offering you mine, because I never grow weary, and I never grow tired of carrying you. You've whispered, I can't take one more step, and I answered, you don't have to, because I will take it for you. The steps, the pressure, the burden, the fear, the responsibility that feels too heavy for one heart, all of it, on my shoulders now. Do you remember Elijah? He was a prophet, strong, faithful, courageous. But even he reached a point where he collapsed under a tree and said, I've had enough, Lord. And what did I do? I didn't shame him. I didn't demand he snap out of it. I sent an angel to feed him, to let him sleep, and to whisper, the journey is too much for you, because it was, because sometimes it is. And that's why I step in, not as a spectator, but as a savior. You don't have to earn my help. You just have to lean into me. Lay your head on my shoulder. Let your tears fall. Let your silence speak. Let your hands go limp, and I will carry you. I will walk with you through this season. I will give you strength when your heart falters. I will be your breath when anxiety steals it. I will be your peace when life is chaos. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. Isaiah 46:4. You are not too much for me. Your pain is not too deep. Your weariness does not disqualify you. It brings you closer, because I carry the tired. I cradle the broken. I refill the empty. So tonight, stop trying to be strong. Let yourself rest. Let yourself breathe. Let yourself be loved, without conditions. Let yourself fall asleep, knowing that you are held. Sleep now, weary one. Let me carry the burden you've been holding too long. Let my strength replace your striving. Let my grace do what your effort never could. You are tired, but I will carry you, always. Chapter 10. Your quiet prayers were heard loud in heaven. My beloved child, you've whispered so many prayers, not the kind shouted in churches or spoken before crowds, not the kind that are eloquent or well-worded, but the ones barely spoken, buried beneath sighs. God, please help me. God, are you even listening? I can't take much more. I heard them all. Yes, even the quiet ones, especially the quiet ones, because in heaven, no prayer is small, no whisper is missed, and no cry is ignored. What you whispered in the dark was heard in the light of my throne. I know you thought your words were too soft, too broken, too messy. You thought they got lost in the noise of a busy world. You even wondered if I was listening at all. But I was. I leaned in when no one else noticed. I caught every word before it even left your lips. I didn't need volume to respond. I needed only your heart. Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65:24. You didn't need perfect words to get my attention. You already had it. You always have. I heard the prayers you prayed for healing. Even when the pain remained, I heard the prayers you prayed for strength. Even when you still felt weak, I heard the prayers you never finished because tears came faster than the words. Every one of them reached me. You may not have seen instant answers. You may have assumed silence meant absence, but I've been moving in ways you can't yet see, answering, preparing, shielding, aligning. Some answers come in ways you didn't expect. Some are delays that protect. Some are no that save you from things that would have broken you. And some are seeds planted deep, growing quietly, about to bloom. You've asked, why haven't things changed? But, beloved, things have changed. Inside you, the storm may still rage outside, but your roots are growing deeper. Your spirit is learning to trust in the silence. Your faith is being refined in the waiting. I'm not ignoring you. I'm building something eternal in you. Do you remember Hannah? She wept bitterly. She whispered her prayer so quietly that the priest thought she was drunk. But I heard her, and I answered. Do you remember the woman with the issue of blood? She didn't even speak to me. She just reached out with trembling hands, and I turned. I saw her. I healed her. Do you remember the thief on the cross? He simply said, remember me, and I promised him paradise. You don't need to shout to reach heaven. You just need to speak, or even groan, from the heart. The Lord has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord accepts my prayer. Psalm 6:9. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry. Psalm 34:15. I don't wait for perfect. I respond to honest. I don't demand fancy words. I'm moved by authentic ones. Even when all you could say was help, I was already helping. Even when all you could say was Please, I was already holding you. You may think your prayers were too simple, but I saw the courage it took to whisper them in the middle of your pain. You may think your prayers were too late, but I'm not bound by time. I see the whole picture. You may think your prayers weren't enough, but prayer was never about power in your voice. It's about faith in mine. And now, I want to remind you, no prayer you've ever prayed was wasted. Even the ones you forgot, even the ones you gave up on, even the ones you prayed through tears, wondering if they mattered. They did. They do. I hold them all, and I'm weaving the answers into your story with care, with mercy, and in perfect timing. So tonight, rest in this truth. Your prayers don't have to be loud to move me. Your prayers don't have to be long to reach me. Your prayers don't have to be perfect to be heard. They already have been. Sleep now, precious one. Your voice reached heaven. Your whispers are written on my heart. Your sighs are sacred to me. So don't worry about what to pray tonight. Just rest. I'm still listening, and I'm still answering. Chapter 11. When you wanted to give up, I held you close. My child, I remember the moment you almost gave up, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. You had reached a place where hope seemed too far, where breathing felt like effort, where getting through one more day felt like too much to ask. And in that quiet, heavy moment, when you thought no one knew what you were feeling, I was holding you, not watching from a distance, not waiting for you to snap out of it, but cradling your soul with arms strong enough to carry what you could not. You didn't need to say a word. I felt your exhaustion. I saw the darkness pressing in. And when you whispered, "God, I can't do this anymore," I whispered back, "You don't have to. I'm here." The truth is, I never expected you to walk through life without reaching that point. Even the strongest hearts grow weary. Even my faithful servants, the ones in Scripture you admire, faced moments of breaking. Elijah sat under a tree and begged me to end his life. David cried out, "How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever?" Job cursed the day of his birth. Even my son cried in Gethsemane, "Father, if it is possible, take this cup from me." And yet, none of them were abandoned. Neither were you. When you felt like you were falling apart, I wasn't disappointed. I didn't label you weak. I didn't pull away. I pulled you closer. I drew near in the unseen places. I wrapped you in my presence when words wouldn't come. I surrounded your fragile heart with grace when you couldn't even pray. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Your weakness was not the end of your worth. It was the beginning of my strength taking over. You've carried so much for so long. The responsibilities, the regrets, the fear, the hidden pain. And you reached the end of yourself thinking, maybe I'm just not enough. But you are not meant to be enough on your own. You are meant to be held. That moment you wanted to give up, that wasn't the end. It was the turning point. Because when you fell, I caught you. When you broke, I gathered the pieces. When you reached for me, even barely, I never let go. You may not remember how you got through that night, but I do. I stayed beside your bed while your heart raced. I calmed your thoughts when you couldn't sleep. I breathed peace into your chest when it felt hollow and tight. And though you didn't see me, I held you close with a love stronger than your fear, deeper than your despair, and more faithful than your doubt. Do you remember what I promised? Even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will fear no evil, for I am with you. Psalm 23:4. You walked through that valley. You may have felt the shadow, but it never swallowed you. Why? Because I walked beside you, step by step, tear by tear, minute by minute. And I still am. Let me tell you something, beloved. You are not weak because you wanted to give up. You are brave because you stayed. You are courageous because you didn't run from the darkness. You stood in it and waited for me, and I came. I always do. Even when you couldn't feel me, I was there. Even now, I hold every version of you. The one who laughed, the one who served others, the one who smiled through the pain, and the one who almost gave up. I've never stopped holding you. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. Isaiah 43:1-2. You thought your breaking point was the end, but it was where my mercy began to pour in deeper. You survived that moment, and I'm not just proud of your strength. I rejoice in your surrender. So tonight, lay down the fear of falling apart again. Let yourself rest. You don't have to fight to prove you're okay. You don't have to pretend to be strong. You are safe now. You are still standing, and you are still mine. I'm holding you tonight, just like I did then. Sleep now, beloved. Let my peace wrap around you like a warm blanket. Let my arms become your pillow. Let your heart exhale, knowing this truth. Even when you were ready to give up, I was never ready to let you go. Chapter 12. The shame you hide is already forgiven. My child, you've carried something for a long time. You don't talk about it. You rarely think about it on purpose. But when you're still, when the lights are off and the world quiets down, it returns. Shame, it doesn't shout, but it whispers just loud enough to be heard. It reminds you of what you said, what you did, what you should have done differently. And even though you've asked me for forgiveness, you wonder if maybe, just maybe, it still lingers in my memory. But I need you to know something. Right now, deep in your soul, the shame you hide is already forgiven. You've been walking around like a prisoner, shackled to something I already broke. You've let shame rewrite your story, when I already rewrote it with grace. The enemy wants to keep reminding you of that moment, but I want to remind you of mine. The moment on the cross, when I said, "It is finished." John 19:30. Not partially finished, not for everyone but you. Finished. Completely. Forever. I know what you're hiding. I saw the moment it happened. I saw the regret the second it left your lips, the instant it passed through your hands. And still, I didn't flinch. I didn't recoil. I didn't walk away. I moved toward you because I never expected perfection, only honesty. And I don't shame you for your sin. I died to cover it. As far as the east is from the west, so far have I removed your transgressions from you. Psalm 103:12. That means it's gone, erased, buried in the sea of forgetfulness. You think of it often. I don't. Because once you brought it to me, I threw it far from you and never picked it back up. I don't define you by what you did. I define you by who you are to me. And you, beloved, are redeemed. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old has gone. The new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Shame tells you to look down. Grace tells you to lift your head. Shame says, you are what you did. Grace says, you are mine. I know you've tried to punish yourself. You think that if you carry the weight long enough, you'll make up for it. But child, that's not the gospel. You can't carry what I already bore. You can't pay for what I already paid. You can't fix what I already forgave. You think you're being responsible by remembering your sin. But what you're actually doing is forgetting my mercy. Remember the woman caught in adultery, dragged into the public square, her sin exposed for all to see. Shame covered her like dust. The world was ready to condemn her, stone in hand. But I knelt beside her. I looked into her eyes, and I said, neither do I condemn you. John 8:11. And I say the same to you. You've labeled yourself with names shame gave you: failure, unworthy, dirty, disqualified. But those are not my names for you. I call you beloved, clean, chosen, free. The shame you carry is not from me. That voice that accuses you, that's not mine. My voice speaks gently, truthfully, lovingly, always leading you toward healing, never toward hiding. So let me lift that burden from your shoulders. Let me whisper into the places you've kept sealed. You are forgiven. You are clean. You don't have to hide anymore. There is nothing in your past that my love cannot redeem. There is no moment so dark that my light cannot reach it. There is no shame so heavy that my mercy cannot lift it. Come to me with it all, not just the parts you've polished, not just the sins you've already shared, but the things you still keep buried deep. I already know, and I already chose you, and my arms are still open. Come now, let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Isaiah 1:18. This is not poetic hope. It is eternal truth. Let go of the lie that says you must carry this alone. Let go of the fear that says you'll never be free. Let go of the shame that's already been paid for in full. You don't have to be ashamed anymore. You're already covered in grace. Sleep now, my child. Let my forgiveness wash over your heart like a soft river. Let my mercy silence the accusing voice. Let your soul exhale, for once, in peace. The shame you hide, already forgiven, already finished, already forgotten, and you are still mine. Chapter 13. I saw what they did, and I'm healing you, my child. You've been hurt, deeply, not just by circumstances, but by people. People who should have protected you, people who should have loved you better, people who broke promises, broke trust, or broke your heart. And for a long time, you wondered if anyone really saw what they did to you. Let me say it clearly, lovingly, and without hesitation. I saw what they said when no one else was listening. I saw how they treated you when no one else believed you. I saw the manipulation behind the smiles. I saw the silent suffering you carried because you didn't know how to speak it, and I never looked away. I didn't miss the moment they lied about you. I didn't miss the way they made you feel small. I didn't miss the betrayal, the insult, the silence, the abuse. You thought your pain was invisible, but it reached my heart like a thunderclap. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Psalm 9:9. I wasn't distant in your pain. I was weeping with you, and while you were questioning, where was God? I was standing beside you, feeling every blow, collecting every tear. I saw what they did, but I also see what it did to you. I see the walls you built to protect yourself. I see the trust issues that make it hard to let love in. I see the way you question your own worth because of someone else's choices. And tonight, I want to begin healing that part of you. Not just surface level healing, not just move on advice, but deep soul level restoration, because you were never meant to carry their sin as your identity. What they did to you was not your fault. It was not because you were weak. It was not because you deserved it. It was not because you weren't enough. It was wrong, and I grieved it with you. But here is the truth that sets you free. What they did may have wounded you, but it will not define you. You are not what they said about you. You are not the bruise they left behind. You are not the lie they told you. You are not their cruelty. You are not their silence. You are mine. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. I am the one who sees every hidden scar. I am the one who walks into the shattered places. I am the one who speaks truth where they spoke lies. You don't need to hide anymore. You don't need to pretend it didn't hurt. You don't need to downplay the damage. I want it all, not to shame you, but to heal you. Let me take the pain they caused. Let me remove the poison of resentment. Let me wrap you in a love that never manipulates, never abandons, never breaks its promises. Their cruelty did not cancel my plan for your life. Their betrayal did not remove your value. Their silence did not erase my voice. And yes, I will deal with what they did. Justice is mine, and I do not sleep. But know this, my highest justice is your healing. I won't let what happened to you be the end of your story. I am already writing a new chapter, one filled with restoration, with hope, with joy you thought you'd never feel again. Let me speak this truth into your heart tonight. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too damaged to be loved. You are not alone in your healing. I am already doing it, slowly, gently, faithfully. You may not see it yet, but I've already begun. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. Instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. Isaiah 61:7. Yes, the same place where you were wounded will become a well of compassion for others. The same mouth that cried in silence will one day speak healing. The same heart that was shattered will beat again with boldness and trust, not because of you, but because of me in you. So tonight, let go. Let go of their names. Let go of their grip. Let go of their shadow over your identity. They do not get to define who you are. I do, and I say, you are whole. You are wanted. You are worthy. You are healing. Even now. Sleep now, my child. Let me be the one who holds your heart tonight. Let me be the one who speaks a better word over your story. Let me finish what they tried to destroy. I saw what they did, and I am healing you. Chapter 14. Your life still has purpose. Even in the pain, my child, I know there have been days when you've questioned why you're still here. Days when the weight of the world felt heavier than your will to carry it. Nights when you stared at the ceiling and whispered, "What's the point?" Mornings when getting out of bed felt like a mountain too steep to climb. But listen closely to my voice now. You are still here because your life still has purpose. Even in the pain, you've walked through storms that others couldn't see. You've carried grief like a hidden wound. You've felt invisible in a world that moves on too fast. And in that silence, you began to wonder if your existence still matters. Let me answer you clearly, lovingly, powerfully. It does. You are not forgotten. You are not just surviving. You are becoming. And I, the one who made you, have never stopped weaving meaning into your days, even the ones that feel empty. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29:11. That promise wasn't just for someone else, it's for you. I still have plans for your life, not in spite of the pain you've endured, but often because of it. Because every tear you've cried, every night you've endured, every wound you've survived has given your heart a depth and compassion this world desperately needs. You think your scars disqualify you, but I use scars like stories. You think your weakness makes you unusable, but I use weakness as my stage for strength. Look at Moses, afraid, stuttering, uncertain. I used him to lead nations. Look at Ruth, grieving, displaced, alone. I used her story to birth a lineage of redemption. Look at Paul, once a persecutor, now a messenger of grace. You see, I don't throw away broken people. I restore them, then I send them. You've said, but I'm too tired, too late, too far gone. And I say, you're right on time for what I'm about to do next. Pain is not the end of your purpose. It may actually be where your true purpose begins. Because I waste nothing, not one moment of heartache, not one moment of confusion, not 1 second of suffering. What you see as a detour, I've marked as a divine assignment. You don't need a grand stage or perfect conditions. Purpose isn't always loud. Sometimes it's found in the quiet way you love someone else through their pain, in the way you keep going, even when no one sees, in the way your story will one day speak hope into someone else's valley. There is purpose in your presence, purpose in your breath, purpose in the fact that you're reading these words right now, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. That includes your all things, even the hard ones, even the parts you'd rather erase. You're still here, not because you failed to give up, but because I refused to let go. I held you, and I'm still holding you, and now I'm raising you, slowly, gently, faithfully, into the next part of your story. Don't worry about having it all figured out. You don't need a 5-year plan. You just need your next breath, and the courage to believe that I'm not finished with you, and I'm not. There are lives waiting to be touched by your honesty, hearts waiting to be softened by your compassion, wounds waiting to be healed by the wisdom you've gained through your own pain. You don't have to go searching for a massive calling. Your life is the calling. So breathe tonight, not because the pain is gone, but because purpose is greater than pain, because I am with you in it, because even now, I'm resurrecting what you thought was buried. I am the God who brings life from dry bones, the God who writes new beginnings from broken chapters, the God who calls your name in the dark and says, "Rise, child, we're not done yet. Sleep now, with hope beginning to stir again. Let my promises be your pillow. Let my plans cradle your mind. Let my voice silence the lie that says you're just surviving, because even in your pain, especially in your pain, your life still holds divine purpose, and I'm just getting started." Chapter 15. I've been writing beauty into your brokenness. My child, I know what it feels like to be broken, not just bruised, but truly shattered. You've walked through moments that cracked your heart wide open, things that should have never happened, words that should have never been spoken, wounds that were never supposed to go that deep. And maybe you've looked at those broken pieces and wondered, how could anything beautiful come from this? But I want you to hear me now, as gently and clearly as a sunrise breaking the night. I've been writing beauty into your brokenness all along. You see cracks, I see potential. You see scars, I see stories. You see something ruined, I see something redeemed. You think the mess disqualifies you, but I make masterpieces out of the mess. You've spent so much time trying to hide the broken parts, but those are the exact places where my light shines through. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. Yes, everything, even the pieces you thought were lost, even the pages you tried to tear out of your story. You may not see the beauty yet, but I do, because I'm not just watching your life, I'm weaving it. I've been stitching purpose into pain, grace into grief, healing into heartbreak. Like a master artist, I've used every shade, the dark ones too, to paint something sacred, something eternal, something beautifully yours. Do you remember the story of Joseph, sold by his brothers, falsely accused, imprisoned for years? From the outside, his life looked like a series of tragedies, but I was writing something larger than any single moment. And in the end, he looked back and said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis 50:20. And so it is with you. What others meant for harm, I'm reshaping into healing. What the enemy meant for ruin, I'm turning into redemption. What you thought would break you forever is now becoming the very soil where new life will grow. You've been through seasons that made no sense, nights where the silence was louder than any answer, tears you cried that felt wasted, but not one of them was. I've collected them, I've counted them, and I've been planting them into a garden of compassion, wisdom, and strength that others will one day draw hope from. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126:5. You see, beauty doesn't always look like perfection. Sometimes it looks like survival, like gentleness after betrayal, like peace after chaos, like love that rises again after being crushed. That's the kind of beauty I create. Not shallow, not fake, but raw, radiant, and real. And this part of your story, The one you want to skip over? The one you don't want anyone to know about? That's the very chapter where my glory is being written most vividly. Not because I caused your pain, but because I refuse to let it be the last word. To all who mourn, he will give a crown of beauty. For ashes, a joyous blessing instead of mourning, festive praise instead of despair. Isaiah 61:3, you're still in the process, but the ashes are being exchanged. The sorrow is giving way to joy, and the pieces you thought were beyond repair are becoming part of something far more breathtaking than you could have imagined. Let me say this again. You are not too broken to be beautiful. You are not too far gone to be used. You are not too damaged to be loved. You are not behind. You are being crafted, and I am not finished with you. You don't need to rush this. Healing takes time. Restoration is not a race. But know that with every breath, I'm still working, still writing, still creating. And one day, you'll look back and see the pain didn't end your story. It shaped the most sacred part of it. Sleep now, beloved. Let go of the fear that your brokenness has ruined everything. Let go of the lie that your story is too messy to be meaningful. I'm still writing, and I'm writing beauty into every broken place, because that's who I am, and that's who you are becoming. Chapter 16. You are more than what the world called you, my child. You've been called many things in your life, some kind, some cruel, some you still hear echoing in your mind when everything gets quiet. You've been labeled, judged, misunderstood, reduced to moments, mistakes, or misunderstandings. The world has tried to name you based on what you've done, what you've failed to do, or what you've survived. But tonight, I need you to hear me clearly, firmly, tenderly. You are more than what the world called you. The world called you not enough. I call you chosen. The world called you too broken. I call you whole. The world called you unlovable. I call you mine. The world judged you by appearance, by status, by past. But I look at the heart, Burner Samuel 16:7, and I call you by name. The names others gave you, they stuck to you like shadows. You didn't ask for them, but over time, you started to believe them. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm too emotional. I'm too quiet. I'm too much. But beloved, those were never my words. They were never my truth. You've been living under names. I never spoke over you. I see who you truly are, not the version wounded by words, not the version shaped by society, not the version trying so hard to be accepted. I see the original you, the one I designed with intention, the one I called very good. Genesis 1:31. I see the you that still hopes in the silence, the you that keeps loving, even when it hurts, the you that still breathes, still believes, still shows up, even when the world tries to bury you with labels. Let me remind you of who you are, not according to the world, but according to me. You are created in my image. Genesis 1:27. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139:14. You are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. You are a temple of my spirit. 1 Corinthians 6:19. You are redeemed, forgiven, and free. Ephesians 1:7. You are called, anointed, and set apart. Jeremiah 1:5. And no one, no voice, no title, no opinion can strip that truth from you. The world names people by what they see, but I name people by what I know. I knew you before you were formed. I knew every chapter of your life. And even knowing all of it, I still chose to love you. You are not who they said you were. You are who I say you are, and my word is eternal. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118-22, the very thing the world threw away, I use as foundation. The names they used to break you, I replace with truth that rebuilds you. The shame they tried to assign you, I cover in grace. Let me rewrite the labels. Let me peel off what doesn't belong. Let me remind you that your identity is not up for debate. You are not your trauma. You are not your past. You are not your reputation. You are not your resume. You are my beloved. Do you remember what I did for Simon? The world knew him as impetuous, unstable, impulsive, but I looked at him and said, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." Matthew 16:18. I renamed him. I called him according to his destiny, not his history. And I'm doing the same for you. You are not too late. You are not too far behind. You are not too flawed to be used. You are more than the name you were teased with. You are more than the reputation you feel trapped inside. You are more than the rejection letter, the diagnosis, the divorce, the failure. You are more than what the world called you, because you belong to the one who names stars, calms storms, and still chooses you. To everyone who believes, he gave the right to become children of God. John 1:12. That's not just a title. That's your identity, and no one can take it away. So tonight, lay down every false name. Let go of the labels you've carried too long. Let me call you by your real name, the one I whispered over you before the world had a chance to speak. Chosen, worthy, beautiful, free, mine. Sleep now, knowing who you are, not what the world named you, not what your past says, not what your pain claims, but what I declared before time began. You are more, you are mine, and you always have been. Chapter 17. Nothing can separate you from my love. My child, you've wondered, even if you haven't said it out loud. Have I gone too far? Did I mess up one too many times? Is there a limit to how long God will keep loving me? The world has taught you that love is conditional, that it can run out, that if you fail enough, fall enough, or fade into silence long enough, it will leave. But I need you to hear something that will never change. Nothing can separate you from my love. Not your worst day, not your lowest moment, not the things you still ashamed of, not the doubts you still carry, not the silence that sometimes settles between us. Nothing, for I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus, our Lord. Romans 8:38-39. You see, my love for you isn't based on your ability to hold on to me. It's rooted in my decision to never let go of you. You may drift, you may struggle, you may stumble and fall, but my love doesn't flinch, fade, or walk away. I chose you before you ever chose me. I chose you before you ever chose me. and I don't change my mind. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Jeremiah 31:3. You've been afraid that one day I'll say, that was too far. That I'll finally have enough. That I'll shut the door and leave you in your mess. But child, if that were true, I never would have gone to the cross. I didn't lay down my life because you were perfect. I laid it down because you needed love that could never be broken. A love stronger than shame, stronger than fear, stronger than your ability to ruin it. Let me say it clearly. You cannot out-sin grace. You cannot outfall mercy. You cannot outrun a God who moves mountains just to reach you. Even if you tried to hide, like Adam in the garden, I would come find you. Even if you ran like Jonah, I would pursue you. Even if you doubted, like Thomas, I would show you my scars. Even if you denied me like Peter, I would still call you back. You are not barely tolerated. You are deeply loved. You are not a burden to my heart. You are the reason it beats with compassion. You are not one mistake away from being cast aside. You are sealed in my grace. Forever, let me remind you of who I am. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one. I am the father who runs toward the prodigal, robe in hand. I am the Savior who weeps at tombs and walks on water to reach sinking disciples, and I'm still all of that, just for you. The enemy will try to convince you that my love is fragile, that it depends on your behavior, that it disappears when you disappoint me. But I have already written a different story over your life. It's sealed in blood. It's anchored in covenant. It's held together not by your strength, but by my promise. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken. Isaiah 54:10. This isn't momentary affection. This is eternal commitment. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to fear losing it. You just have to rest in it. So tonight, exhale. Let go of the fear that you've gone too far. Let go of the lie that says, love is fragile. Let go of the guilt that keeps whispering, he's done with you. Because I never was, and I never will be. Sleep now, with peace settling deep into your soul. You are not hanging on to love by a thread. You are wrapped in it, held in it, protected by it, and nothing, not this night, not your past, not your fears, not your flaws, nothing can separate you from my love. Chapter 18. Rest. Now, child, I am with you, always, my precious child. You've come so far. You've walked through shadows. You've carried burdens. You've cried in silence. You've questioned, doubted, feared, hoped, and still you're here. And now, finally, I want to say something I've whispered to your heart 1,000 times. Rest now, child. I am with you always. You've been holding so much for so long, trying to understand everything, trying to stay strong for everyone, trying to make sense of the pain, the past, the path. But you don't need to hold all the answers anymore. You only need to hold on to me. I've been walking with you every step of the way, even when you didn't notice. I've seen every weary morning and every lonely night. I've never left your side, not for a second, and I never will. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Matthew 28:20. not just when you're faithful, not just when you feel strong, not just when you're surrounded by light, always. In the hospital room, in the car parked on the side of the road, when you broke down crying, in the quiet kitchen, wondering if life will ever feel full again, in the midnight thoughts that spiral, too fast to catch, always. Rest isn't just about sleep. It's about trust. It's about letting go of the pressure to figure it all out. It's about surrendering control. It's about allowing me to be God and you to simply be my child. You've carried pain. You've endured hardship. You've survived moments that tried to end you. But now, I want to give you peace. Peace that doesn't come from answers, but from my presence. Peace that doesn't depend on the absence of trouble, but on the certainty of my nearness. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. You don't need to chase that peace. It's already here. I am peace. You've done enough for today. You've held on long enough. You've fought battles no one else knows about. And now, I want you to rest. Not just because your body needs sleep, but because your soul needs stillness. Your heart needs quiet. Your spirit needs space to remember you are not alone. You never were. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 121 to Vers 8. I am not just the God of your mountaintops. I'm the God of your Mondays, the God of your 2 a.m. anxieties, the God of your ordinary, tired, beautiful human moments. And I'm not going anywhere. So rest, my child. Lay down the guilt. Lay down the questions. Lay down the armor you've worn to protect yourself. You are safe now. You are held now. You are home in my presence. Let every breath you take tonight remind you you are loved. You are covered. You are never abandoned. Your future is still unfolding. Your healing is still growing. Your purpose is still deepening. But tonight, just rest. Let me restore you. Let me sing over you as you sleep. Let my arms wrap around your mind and hush the noise that tries to steal your peace. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4:8. You don't need to perform. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to breathe and be mine. So sleep now, beloved, not in fear, not in shame, not in loneliness, but in the truth that I have been and always will be right here, forever, faithfully, lovingly, completely. Rest now, child. I am with you always.